The telephone. Are you old enough to remember phone books, phone booths, answering machines, or prank calls? These things are all part of the history of the telephone. Most of today's youth can't imagine being without their cell phone for a day, let alone possibly imagine how people communicated without one at all. Nowadays, people of all ages are glued to their smartphones all day, every day. Communication has changed dramatically since the invention of cell phones. Before cell phones, letter writing was the go-to method. Letters could sometimes take 2 weeks to reach their destination. But wait, it gets even more interesting. The sender wouldn't know if their letter was received unless they got a response. Imagine waiting a month to know if someone received your message. It would make it a real challenge to ask someone out on a date, wouldn't it? Back then, no one imagined that talking to someone 1,000 kilometers away could be accomplished with the push of a button. How did we go from letter writing to the multifunctional devices we have today? Who invented the telephone? Many scientists contributed to the creation of the telephone. The two most important figures were Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray. In 1876, Elisha Gray and Alexander Graham Bell independently designed devices that could transmit speech through a wire. It was a race to the finish line. They both rushed to the patent office, racing against the clock to be the first to register their invention. However, Bell patented his version of the telephone first, and later won a legal dispute with Gray. Their fight over the rights to the invention is one of the largest patent wars in history. Today, Bell's name is synonymous with the telephone. This technology has come a remarkably long way, much faster than Bell could have anticipated. Phones weren't always mobile. Evolution of the telephone. Almost everyone on the planet has a mobile phone. A few years ago, people couldn't move around with their phones. And of course, as we all know, it was only for making phone calls. How did a device with a single purpose become an all-around entertainment must-have for us today? Here is a timeline of how the telephone evolved. In 1878, phone operators had to help people make phone calls. This made the process frustrating for many people. It was during the 1930s that phones started to include dials with numbers. This made making phone calls much more effortless. In the 1960s, the push-button number pad was first introduced. Cordless phones were introduced in the 1980s. People were now able to walk around while talking on the phone. Cell phones came out in the 1990s. They were called flip phones. Do you remember them? They were mostly rectangular, and you had to flip them open. The phones we have today are cutting edge. We can now use them to book plane tickets, browse the web, text, take amazing photos, and much more. What were the first words ever said over the phone? Was it hello? Or who is this? It was, in fact, neither. On March 10, 1876, Bell put his invention to the test. With his assistant standing by in the other room, Bell shouted into the mouthpiece, "Mr. Watson, come here! I want to see you!" Watson heard every word, and this was the first phone call made. Modern phones are incomparable to the first phones, and they're being improved upon every day. What will devices look like 10 or 20 years from now? Oh, sorry. I need to take this call. Bye for now.